Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and as always, Win444. So today we're going to be doing a just daily energy check and see what's going on within the collective right now. I hope you guys are all doing a I don't know, I'm stuttering. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful, wonderful day. I hope that you find yourselves in good health and in a safe environment. And then just one second. I'm going to be moving you guys so much. I'm just trying to get you guys in a bit. Okay. So today we're going to be using the Psychic Tarot to begin with. So we just had the new moon in Gemini. If I feel called to it, I'll record the messages ahead of time. And a lot of times it's just whenever I feel the message needs to be recorded, and then I just put a random date on it, like to be released out on a schedule. Because time is fluid. Time is an illusion too. So it's like there is no concept of time. When this message finds you is most likely when it will resonate for you. And if this message does not resonate at all for you, please do keep in mind this is a collective message. It is a general message, so I may not resonate with everyone. But just keep that in mind. Don't make the shoe fit if it's not meant for you, right? If you're not Cinderella, don't make the shoe fit. Divine, God, Spirit, Holy Spirit, your ascended masters, they have a plan for you. You're not meant to fit into it. You know, you don't all just have one fairy tale. You don't all have one journey, or not everyone's, it's not all of it. Everyone has their own unique path, is what I'm hearing. Everyone has their own unique path, so it's very different for everyone. So I always say take the messages that are inspiring, that you can use as positive affirmations or visualizations. If you're going through a video, jot down some notes of things that you would like. Sometimes it takes hearing someone else say something for you to realize that you like it, or to call it into existence for you, into your vortex space, Ooh. Okay. Oh, there's an ad playing. Alright. Holy Spirit. I have prayed, but we'll just do a really quick prayer. So, Holy Spirit, I just ask that you stay by our side, ensuring that only God's love and wisdom speak through these cards. I ask that you bring blessings and guidance and abundance and prosperity to everyone involved, that you guide us, that you help us to stay centered in our higher selves so that we may clearly see, hear, feel, and know the divine messages that wish to emerge through these readings. And I ask that all of my readings with these cards be accurate and specific, bringing guidance and clarity to all involved. And shield us in your unconditional love and your blue flame of truth. And we'll just cleanse out lower vibrational energies from my space, from my viewer space. I ask that you guide them along their journey and that you provide them love and light as well. I just spilled ashes everywhere. Whoops. Whatever. From the ashes we rise, right? And they say that the Palo Santo, so this is Palo Santo, it's called Holy Stick technically. But they say with this, it's like, the ashes, they say to actually sprinkle them like on your windowsills. So in this case, we're sprinkling them all over this table. So it's cleansing our space because they're holy. All right. Deep breath in, count of 4, 1. And then you hold it for 4. So whenever we do our deep breath, remember it's 4 count in, 4 count hold, 4 count release. And we cleanse your space as well. Remember, it's a prayer, protection of cleanse for us and for you. Alright, so let's see. Holy Spirit, what messages do you have for us today? Maybe not the right deck to start off with. Okay, I think Spirit wants me to use this deck. So we're going to start off with the Wisdom of Avalon instead. Let's see what Holy Spirit wants out of this deck. It's like I've been feeling so called to use the Psychic Tarot, but then it's like, so I always think I have to start with it, but I think I need to just take a minute beforehand and try to figure out which deck it is that Spirit truly wants to start with. Alright, so my Spirit, see here, feeling my divine messages, those from merge through these readings. Help us to stay centered in our higher selves so that we can clearly see here. The Goblin, the wounded human ego. So someone's dealing with someone had their ego a little wounded. They were a little tested. The Goblin, number 31, number 4. So their foundation was shaken a little bit. Death. Death to the human ego is what I'm getting. It's a rebirth. Number 46 with the cycle, with the 10. 46 being 10 also. I'm getting the death, the rebirth. This cycle is closing out of someone acting from a place of just human ego. Exactly. It's taken a lot of focus. Number 33. It's taken a lot of focus. Okay, so it's like this energy, it's all about releasing the human ego also, and it's bringing a transformative rebirth to your inner self, to the ideas, this childish, behavior where you get mad at someone and, you stick your tongue out because they said something mean to you. It's like, it's just the death of that. It's beautiful though, because you go from kind of gloomy, meek looking cards, and then we have burden. So for some, number 7, divine, is helping you to release burdens. It's showing you the truth about burdens that weren't yours to carry. And yeah, it's like, so being the novice in this, novice is about, number 5 is about changes. So it's like, you're just now embarking on this new journey because it wants to, Spirit's telling you to focus on this new beginning, these new prayers answered. Also, I'm seeing a bow right there hitting its mark. So it's like it wants you to focus on this path. This is the path you're meant to take. This is the elevated path. This is the path to your prayers being answered. And that's why you had to let the human ego die. That's why you had to let this cycle close out. For some, it was just the cycle of having your ego wounded at the moment, and it was just releasing that, that temporary discomfort you felt within yourself. But for others, it's your wounded human ego always getting in the way of prospering relationships, always getting in the way and creating blockages for yourself, creating blockages for your abundance to be able to come in. But with this death card being here, this is actually a beautiful thing to have because it means it's symbolizing the death of that and the rebirth of something more beautiful. It's giving you the opportunity to bring in clean energy is what I'm hearing. Like it's giving you the opportunity to get rid of disdainful energies that were in your area and within yourself, and it's giving you the opportunity for rebirth into this glorious, like, huge open field where you can just, you're in nature, you're isolated, you're on your path, you're focusing, you're following your true north. And like I said, you found out the truth about a lot of burdens that you were carrying, that they were not yours to carry, and divine is helping you. It's guiding you to get out of this path where you felt burdened, that you couldn't see the sun shining beyond the leaves because it was so cluttered in there. But if you look at this path is beautiful. It's well lit. The sun shines through. There's clarity within it. So yeah. So then for the novice, we do have innocence, beginner, ignorance, new skill without practice, unstable curiosity. So number 5, again, the changes that are coming in. This is just saying like you may just have started on this journey, but it's also kind of being patient with yourself, because this is a new journey for you. This is new to you. This is new, kind of not reacting out of the ego is going to be new for you. So just be mindful of that, and like be mindful of it, and really focus on just getting ahead, one step ahead, one day ahead, one bad habit down, one, just one step at a time. Just keep going. See if there's anything else out of here. My spirit, do you want anything else out of here? Okay. And again, truth, bottom of the deck again is truth, and it's still burden. Jeez. So again, it's the truth about the burdens. Divine really just wants you to focus on, we're taking these 2 out because that's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, and then look, it's the same thing. It's like the spider creative projects, but with this one I'm getting, it's you spun a web. And that web actually is restricting you. Like you spun your own web of lies, kind of. And it's not necessarily lies that you were telling another individual, but it's a web of lies that was spun as you grew up. It's all these social norms, all these stereotypes that were placed upon you, or whomever this energy is resonating with. Remember, it's interchangeable, so just place yourself wherever it fits. But it's like this web of lies was spun, and it's like you didn't even realize they were lies. You saw it as burdens. You saw it as something that you had to do. It was like someone told you, you have to be the man of the house, right? And it's like, and that parent threw all these burdens on you as a child. Like, you have to take care of the house. You have to make sure the house is running properly. You have to watch after your siblings. You have to make sure, it was like someone just threw a ton of burdens on you. And the thing is, you saw them, you thought they were truths. But now you're starting to see beyond it. You're starting to see that these are all restrictions placed upon you. Stereotypes are a huge thing. Stereotypes have limited so many beautiful men that I have come across knowing, because they thought they couldn't show emotions. They thought they couldn't cry. They thought they had to be the strong, dominant one all the time. And the thing is, you can tell it burns people out. And same thing with the masculine energies I've come across. It's like, it's just more prevalent in males in terms of emotions. And it's actually, so not in males, it's more dominant in the masculine energy. Because then you also have females that are like overly independent, because they were taught that crying was weak, that crying was a very girly, lowly thing to do, that it was a weakness. It was a weakness to show kindness. It was a weakness to show your tears. And it's like that all became like societally imposed limitations that so many people as a collective have been seeing as truths, and it's kept them so limited and so bound and so restricted within themselves. It's a web of lies. So now it's about going back and like undoing each thread of that web to be able to refocus and redraw your own web out however you want it. But it's realizing that a lot of the burdens that were placed upon you, like how I said, a bunch of the male stereotypes, like you have to be the breadwinner, you have to do this, you have to do this. And then the females, it's like you have to stay at home, you have to clean, you have to cook, you have to know how to be a good cook, otherwise you're not going to be a good wife, or some shit like that, right? And it's like, no, these were all burdens that society placed upon us, because they were all stereotypes that society had come to call truths, and it messed so many people up. So now it's about going back, and it's about letting go of that, letting all of those familiar thoughts, all the societal norms die away, so that they can be rebirthed into something beautiful that's going to flourish, and it's going to bring clarity, it's going to bring growth, it's going to bring illumination. It's learning how to work with nature, right? It's like letting nature's natural abundance flow is what I'm hearing. Because if you think about it, a dam, like a river wants to flow, right? And when it flows adequately, it brings an abundance of water, nutrients, food to the land it goes to. But if a man-made societal norm comes in and puts a dam right there, because they want to generate profit off of it, they want to make money off of it, they're putting a dam in that place, and they're blocking the abundance they're blocking nature's natural abundance. Nature naturally wants to flow. It naturally wants to give. And by a man coming in, or, you know, human society coming in and putting a block on that, it's like you're blocking the natural flow of life. And by placing that there, it's like you are restricting the growth of so many individuals, so many people down here that could nourish and benefit from that person. So also what I'm getting to is we're going to keep those two out. With, okay, hold on. I just lost my train of thought. I'm trying to recall it really quick. Blockage, the abundance of societal norms. Oh, with a lot of the masculine energy it's present both in females and in males. So it's a duality we have within ourselves. We have masculine energy and feminine energy. But with the masculine energy coming into play and it being overdone, that's why we have so many women that are called cold or standoffish. And it's because they're independent. And it's like, it's a beautiful thing, but if it's overworked, that is where the person might come off a little bit cynical or like man-hater. But it's not a man-hater. It's just all these stereotypes placed on people, and it's so tiring, and it's like, it's so taxing on the human soul to constantly be told not to do something or not to act in a certain way, or like crying is wrong. Because like the river flowing, like, you know, the river flowing and this dam being right here, to me that is a person's love, a person's kindness, a person's beauty and abundance and natural flow hitting the societal, you know, the stereotypes of society. And it's like, this masculine energy isn't allowed to love others. It isn't allowed to cry. It's like you can't express yourself freely. And by doing so, though, by being limited right here by the societal norms, it's like in the stereotypes, it's like you are blocking the abundance of like beautiful lessons and energy that you could share with so many people down the river, down the line, down the journey, right? Like all your lessons, the beautiful person you are inside is limited by all of these stupid imposed restrictions that society decided to call our norms. And they're different within each culture too, so take it, you know, how it fits, but it's like, it needs to flow. Your natural abundance needs to flow. And that's what's kind of beautiful, because it's kind of, especially with this, we'll see where this goes, but this seems really beautiful so far, because it's seeing that the man-made dam is blocking your abundance. And for some, it could have been, you know, the wounded human ego. But again, the wounded human ego is also stemming from a place of stereotypes, you know, psychological, like conditioning throughout lifetimes. It's the societal norms, cultural norms, morals and values you were taught that were the norm. That all will play into your ego, because that's kind of where your ego is. That's all you've known. That's all you've ever known. So it's like, that's where you're going to play out of. And it's kind of, what's beautiful about it is by the ego dying, you're realizing it's the rebirth. It's the chance to reprogram your subconscious mind, reprogram the way you see the world, reprogram your own self and the way you think. And it's like reprogramming yourself in a way that you're aware of the stereotypes affecting you now, and you're cutting them away. You're throwing them out. So it's beautiful, because it's giving you this beautiful, beautiful rebirth. And by letting so many of the fears die, the hate die, the envy die. There's this book, it's called Quiet Mind, Epic Life. I'm not sure who wrote it. I'll put it in the description box below. But it talks about the human ego and how it'll get flared up. It does it to protect you. So it does it to protect you, but the thing is, if you were taught that crying was something dangerous, when someone makes you feel like crying, you think they're attacking you, so immediately your ego steps up, and it's like, no, and then you overkill it, like you overkill whatever situation just happened. And that's just the wounded ego playing itself out on top of stereotypes and conditioning, and it's like it's almost like you didn't even know better. But now with this number 4, the crumbling of this foundation and bringing, you know, the closing of this cycle, it's beautiful, because like you literally go from foundation, right? Because it was your foundation that was altered right here. It's your foundation that needs to be reevaluated. This is like to me, I feel like a tower energy happening right in between these two, because you have the number 4, so you have your foundation, and it's being crumbled. It's like the wounded human ego. It's breaking away. It's dying. And then with the number 10, it's the rebirth. So it's like the tower hit, you died, you're being rebirthed, and now you have this clear, beautiful path lit up before you. It's like now you can see, number 33, your prayers being answered. Okay. So, let me clear this away. But yes, it's releasing all the things that are truly actually burdens. You're now seeing the truth about them. That they aren't things that you as an individual have to do. You do not, if you're a masculine energy, you do not have to be the sole provider in a family household. If that's what you would like and that's what makes you actually happy, then yes, I encourage it. I encourage you to do whatever makes you feel good and feel at home within yourself. Your soul resonates with it. I don't want people thinking they have to do something. Like so many people too. Like, like any different gender, I think it's called gender preference? Sexuality. So for example, like, we'll just take a lesbian or whatever. It's like so many feminine energies, like within the lesbian community, have felt so like disempowered because at a young age they were told they weren't acting correctly. They weren't doing ladylike things. Or they shouldn't, like, you know, and it's just because we have the masculine energy and the feminine within us. It's just that we demonstrate a different balance of it. So we demonstrate different traits. We're drawn to different things. And it's like all of those things restricted that person and it wounded them for so long. And it's like we shouldn't be wounding and limiting each other. We should be embracing each other and like bringing the best out of each other. But again, to so many people, so again, we're sticking with the feminine example right now, or the masculine energy in a feminine body being the more dominant one. It was a burden to this feminine, to this female. It was a burden to the masculine energy within this female to want to, you know, they wanted to be strong. They saw it as something they really wanted to do. They wanted to take action. They wanted to be the protector, the provider, the sole breadwinner. They wanted to be independent. They wanted to perhaps be more dominant. They found, you know, the feminine energy in another individual so attractive. That's why, you know, they became like just more attracted to feminine energy. And this is why I think a lot of people become bi, because they realize it's an energy thing. So it's like this male, this earthly male can have a lot of feminine energy and you're attracted to that. But at the same time, this female with a ton of feminine energy too could be attracted to that because you embody a very masculine energy. So it's like this is all about how energy flows. And this is for someone. This isn't for everyone. But it's like these stereotypes, this little box that everyone was forced to fit into as a male, as a female, as a woman, as a man, as a daughter, as a sister, whatever. This little box that society tried to put you in with cultural norms and societal norms and like conditioning, it's just become such a burden. And so many people are waking up now and seeing the truth to it. They're seeing that these are burdens placed upon them by society, by other individuals. These aren't burdens that are even theirs to carry. So this is beautiful because it's, again, I'm just, divine is helping you put down these burdens. It's helping you see the truth behind what is truly a burden to you that you no longer have to carry. Divine is saying, give us your burdens. Give us that shit. We'll carry it. We'll burn it for you. It's beautiful. Okay, so let's see what we got going for our story. Balance, exactly. It's all about the balance within your feminine energy. It's all about the balance within your masculine energy. It's about balancing between what is a burden and what is a truth. What is a burden placed upon you by society and what is the truth to you? It's a balance between again, it's like you're sifting through the clutter in your brain, and you're choosing what you're going to keep and what you're going to throw out. Like what's actually true and what's just a stereotype that was placed upon you based on your gender when you were born, based on your position within a family household, based on your position in life, based on your position within the hierarchy of, you know, the wealth income pyramid. Like, were you told, oh, you're in the lower scale, you're like, what is it called? Low income? Or like middle class, low, I don't think it's called low class, but it's just, it's all of that. Because, you know, people that tend to be in the higher upper class tend to think that they are elite. They feel superior. This isn't for everyone, this is just some of the stereotypes. So like they feel elite, they feel superior, they feel entitled to have whatever they want, including disrespecting the morals and values of other individuals. But it's like, those, even there, even in that, you know, income, wealth pyramid, there are so many stereotypes, and it's going through your life and seeing where something was a stereotype and it's a burden on your soul, and where something is a truth and something you resonate with and something that makes you feel good and something that guides you down the right path. So it's finding the balance with it. And also, let me check really quick. But I want to say the angel of balance might be judgment. So it could be, you know, releasing yourself from judgment, releasing yourself from situations that were just judging you all the time. Like you weren't doing something right, you were doing something wrong. Oh, it's justice. Okay. It says, this card represents the need for balance and harmony with your inner life, as well as with what's surrounding you in the physical world. So again, this is you clearing up the clutter within your mind, and that's going to help you to focus on your outer external world, but also decluttering and detoxifying your outer world from people that are truly burdens on your soul, and people that bring you truths and beauty and like enlighten you and help you to grow beautifully, instead of people that are just like constantly burdening you because they constantly keep placing these stereotypes and judgments upon you. Okay, it says, this denotes that some lifestyle adjustments are required at this time. It could be associated with love, relationships, business, or even your career. The balance card is also being shown to make you realize that what you perceive to be happening around you is really an externalization of an inner process or conflict that you may be currently experiencing. This card will often appear if you work in the legal field or when you're involved in law-related matters. Have faith that justice will triumph, as justice and karma go hand in hand. Take only what you've earned, treat people fairly, and don't take advantage of anyone. This is all a part of living a balanced karmic life. When determining something, there must be a state of balance, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally, so that you can make rational decisions and logical judgments. This is a time to be honest and caring and responsible for the choices that you've made, as well as the ones that will be made in the future. So again, this is taking a look at your the role that you've played in relationships in your past, whether it be friendships, romantic relationships, family relationships. It's taking a look at where you might have been imbalanced, or you might have acted irrationally out of a wounded human ego, and it's kind of clearing up the clutter and letting that situation die, clearing it away, burying the hatchet is what I keep hearing, burying the hatchet with all of those individuals, so that you can allow yourself to move forward from all those situations that burdened you, all of those situations that caused you to hold grudges within yourself. And it's like you don't wish them ill. You just want to bury the hatchet and move forward. You're so focused on this beautiful path, and it's like you just want all the past crap to just die away. You just don't want any part to do with it anymore. You just want it handled and buried properly, and you want to release it. Beautiful. You have number 2. Spiritual union. This is the 2 of Cups. This, for some, this is the spiritual union. Again, it's the... Okay. With this card, it's the death of yourself within yourself. It's the clearing away of all the crap and the clutter. For some, this may have been a wounded ego within a relationship. It caused you to act out against your counterpart. I have no idea what these people are doing. People are just randomly honking like a lot. And the thing is, they're like 2 blocks away, and I don't understand why they're all honking. Oh my gosh. Anyways. With the spiritual union, again, it's the balancing of your feminine energy and the balancing of your masculine energy within yourself, coming into this